those Rally Ireland with Loeb dominating.
So here's a geeky one for you as well. I do love a geek out. Have you got the onboard DVD of Sebastian Loeb in the C4 and Rally Ireland?
Isn't it? It's in Donegal. It's not Rally Ireland.
Of course, it was the warm-up event.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, John.
I don't have it. Do you have it?
Yeah, I got it.
I'm gonna have to steal that off you.
Okay, mate. Right, rally chat from me and John done. We are going to crown ourselves a world champion in the next 3 runs of this stage. You're going to see the drivers go through one by one. Now, Pankin and John, we have plenty of time to chat this through. So you're going to watch Pankin first, then you're going to see Kazuho Iwata from Japan, and then finally on to Lucas Mateja. One by one, that ramps the pressure up. For them, probably it's not that different, John. For me, if this was a land final, it would be, because of the fact that you're there and you can see the guy next to you peering at you, literally from the rig next to you. What's he going to do? Is it just lit?
He's going to absolutely send it.
Oh, and there you go, good example. That's a 2 right.
Yeah, and he's made a massive cut off a drop on the inside of the corner there. So, yeah, I think Pankinen's just going to absolutely give this everything. If he makes a mistake, I mean, that's the risk he's willing to take.
I mean, this is no lifting properly. This section for me is the harder part of the stage because, again, it's narrow. You've got a lot of crests and drops, and you've got a series of corners which are 3, 4, 3, 4, then suddenly a 2. This one goes around to the right and then left, doesn't it? It's just, yeah,
it's all about carrying. It's all about carrying the momentum through every corner, because if you lift off a little bit on a corner, or you have to slightly tweak your line than what you want to take, you lose that momentum up the next straight.
Look at the big cut on the left against. I'll tell you what. And a big cut on the right, fence down as well. You'll be getting a bill from the Forestry Commission for that, Una. He doesn't care right now. Oh, that was a huge risk.
Super committed, almost running out of road, but still going for it. And now one of the most tricky corners in any rally game ever is coming up. This right-hander over a crest. What's he going to do? Massive.
Oh, Pankkinen is on a mission. No!
Oh, no!
Mistake! Pankkinen, 2 sideways, too much risk, pulls it back. Maybe lost half a second, but how much? Maybe a second. How much did he gain, John?
I don't know.
I would never take that. I'm looking at this and thinking I'm going to go home. Oh, and another big cut. Pankkinen is like, don't cut. Mate, you talk about no lift for nothing. This is cut for everything.
Cut for everything, but the thing is, the 2 other guys are sitting watching this. They know that they can take it a little bit more easy now and just carry the speed and not make that mistake.
But then with the risks he's taking, can they? Because he's taking risks everywhere. You know, is he gaining a 10th everywhere to only lose half a second? Yes, they've seen one mistake, but I mean, okay, on the previous 4 stages, you're right, that one mistake would be enough to lose it. But for me, I mean, he's lit, he's on a mission.
He's definitely on a mission, and like you said, if he's making up a few tenths here and there across the whole stage, that might cancel out his mistake he's just made.
They would have been hoping, would they? Not hoping, well, yeah, maybe hoping your competitor goes off, to be honest. Again, knocks down the little flags on the inside that mark the don't cut with those blobs on the inside of that. Committed through this section, you know, this is like a real rally. I have to say, you know, those forestry sections are always cut up in deep mud, aren't they, when the trucks have been through. So committed into the 2 right again. He's hooking a wheel off everywhere here, John, absolutely everywhere.
And you can see there the front inside wheel of the Subaru pitched into the air, and there's quite a lot of camber in wheels too, so you want to stick your car on the inside of the corner, hug the inside of the camber, because if you fall off the other side of the camber, yeah, you're losing time.
Backs it in perfectly. That's nice downhill left-hander. Now there's a flat junction at the top here, so watch this. It's a king right, king left into a 3 left.
There's a lot of cutting opportunity here in the Muirland.
Either side after this junction, isn't it?
And I'm wondering if he's tempted after the mistake he's just made to take these cuts. And
he does.
He's not hugely off the road.
No, that's fair enough for me. You know, that's I've seen McRae do more.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's fair.
So do I. Absolutely. That I said the other day when I took that stage about the cuts. And again, let's face it, the other drivers can watch this and take those cuts too. But yeah,
it's not like they're being penalised for not knowing.
Exactly, exactly. Pankkinen fully off the throttle in the right-hander, completely off the throttle to help the car rotate. He's so patient. It's easy to be eager and get on the throttle too soon. Now he's coming up to a series of crests, then a left, and then downhill. And John, this downhill section is my nemesis in this stage. Prior to the right-hander, which is off camber, it's horrible.
It's so hard to pick a braking point for this hairpin at the bottom here now. And there's a jump just before your braking point, so that makes it even more difficult. Here's the jump. Now he's on the brakes. But perfect.
Oh, it just makes it look so easy. It's so frustrating for me. Right over the crest and the left now coming down again.
He'll jump this, he is. He's jumping it, yeah. You sort of jump a gap in that corner. It's hard to see from the angle there, but you're taking a risk in doing that.
Oh, yes. McRae style backed into the hairpin. Give Pankinen a medal. He's going to get a trophy anyway, but for me, he gets some sort of medal with the word big send. Hashtag McRae style, hashtag back it in. That was a perfect back it in, Scandi flick into the hairpin. It just reminds me of watching this brilliant sport back in the day when these cars were at the top of the world.
Oh, he's made another slight mistake.
He's rolled it!
Oh, he keeps going!
Hairpin, handbrake in. Pankinen is in full send mode. He's got away with 2 mistakes now. The front of the Impreza is bent in a very Colin McRae style. Round the left-hander. Now he's going to flick it to the right, up and over the crest. He's got just a few corners to go. Pankinen has taken every risk in the book. Through the river now, up on 2 wheels again, almost into the gate post on the outside. Coming up towards the finish line. He's got the left and the right to go. On a mission. Did he take too many risks? Over the line. Okay, hand up to the head. He's not sure. It's a 5:44. Me and John are writing that down right now. 5:44.547.
He is so lucky, though, that
both times
when he did roll, he landed back in his wheels again. But you were saying he was so...
It was so McRae style, mate.
The whole stage was McRae style, but do you remember Colin McRae in the X Games when he rolled
and
kept going in the same motion? Same thing again.
The clip of McRae at the X Games is wonderful, and incidentally, they've still got the bonnet, or the hood if you're from America, of the No Fear backed Impreza on the wall over in America at Subaru Motorsports USA, Vermont Sports Car, who run that team. They've still got the bonnet up on the wall, and that is just so awesome, I think. It's a legendary bit of footage. Go and see, find the guy who's filmed it from the crowd, because when McRae rolls, the Americans, rally was pretty new to them anyway in terms of being, it's been there a long time, but in terms of being a sport that was in the public eye, and the noise the crowd makes when McRae lands back on his wheels will put their hairs on the back of your neck right up. It's ace. And that drive from Pankinen was ace. Okay, Pankinen has left nothing on the table. He's made 2 mistakes. What's the first one worth? Have a guess. It doesn't matter.
I think about a second.
You think a second. So 2 mistakes. So he's
lost at least 2 seconds, if not more.
Okay, but how much risk has Pankinen taken for you? If you were doing that stage and you were going, right, I'm trying to set the time at the top of the leaderboard in the world standings in the game, how much risk has he taken there? For me, it's everything.
He's put everything on the table, but he knew he had to do that because he's running first. He's got nothing to compare against, so he was trying to nail that stage as perfect as he could. Unfortunately, he did make those 2 mistakes, but they weren't huge mistakes where he was stopped stationary for a long time.
Didn't Pankinen... I think Pankinen made a mistake last year in the final. I think he made a mistake...
He did. I think he had a spin,
didn't he? Make a mistake, yeah. So Pankinen made a mistake last year.
And still won.
Yes. Is Pankinen quick enough to retain the World Championship title, World Series champion in Dirt Rally 2.0 with that amazing run? The hairpin, skins, meds, gold meds. Yes, Unip. Love it. That was great. That was mega.
It was amazing what he just done, and he gave us something spectacular to watch, which is what we want to see, and everyone watching wants to see someone going absolutely flat out, giving it everything, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out.
What emojis would you use for that? I'd go that one, definitely.
I think the mind-blowing emoji.
Fire, I'd have that emoji in there too. Maybe the explosion one.
Yeah.
You know?
I could think of a few others too, but...
Be a lot of emojis, wouldn't there?
Yeah.
Sometimes I only like to use 3, particularly in WhatsApp, so that you get them bigger then. It's more impact.
You don't want to use too many emojis, though, because then...
No, but then when there's something like that happens, it's so rad that you're like, I need to, like, ratify this with a lot of emojis. So
no emoji limit there?
No, I don't think so.
No.
It's just which emoji you put, you know, or unless you want to... Maybe you go for 3, because then they're bigger.
Yeah, yeah.
These are the things that matter. We're just waiting for the next car, basically. It's just truth be told. But if your emoji game's not strong, you're not paying. You know, these things. people like me and John are really cool. Obviously, I imagine we're among the coolest people you've ever seen. We put a lot of thought into emojis, don't we, John?
Yeah, I like to select them very carefully, but I think I rate I don't know if it's GIF or GIFs. What do you
GIF.
Yeah, GIF. I rate them more highly, I think.
Do you?
I find them more
I
entertaining.
love a GIF, but I just can't be hassled with finding a GIF.
Well, it's quite easy. Every message app you can search for it now, pretty much.
Yeah.
I love a good.
So people find really good GIFs, and it always frustrates me they find better GIFs than me. I don't know if it's they just know where
you
to
need
look.
to up your GIF game.
Okay, I do. Now, meme. Is it a meme or is it a meme?
Meme.
Meme.
Or meme.
Yeah, I do like them. I've never made one.
No, they're too hard to make. You need like Photoshop and stuff. Yeah, it's too hard.
John and Andrew's run through the most important social media skills you possibly have. Earlier on, we did GCSE maths for you. That is advanced. You could, with those skills, you could apply for a job as a social media manager. You won't get it, but you could put on there that you watch the Dirt Rally 2.0 course on memes, emojis, and GIFs. Thank us later. I'd have that trophy there for that. We are still waiting. I don't know what out of interest, what they're doing. I mean, they're changing the livery by hand or something on the PC. I mean, it's just like,
he's got the car jacked up and
it's underneath
the dampers.
it. Genuinely, who are we waiting for? Iwata, Kazuo Iwata. Okay, fair enough.
Mind games going on, I think.
That's not a bad one. That's happened in real life. You wait away from the time control, and either your competitor is on the line looking for you in the mirror. In real life, this is waiting to see, and you look in the mirror, you're thinking he's not there, he's not coming. And at that point, you're like, yes, he's not coming. And then you roll up behind them, and they go, he is coming. And it's a great little mind game, that. Or the other one that I know a Swedish driver did, no names. He got out the car to go to the bathroom in the forest and left the car door open on purpose in the road section, so the driver couldn't get to the point where they're supposed to check in, just to give them a little bit of a head twist.
I think that's a step too far. That's
yeah, but if someone did it to you, would that make you livid?
It's happened before.
Right, I agree it's a step too far, but it's... So is Kazuo Iwata sitting in Japan absolutely ready to go?
Someone blocked him into the stage where he just sat there.
He's not there. Iwata... Okay, so Kazuo Iwata, to be fair, is doing something to his PC. He may have a technical issue. He's going to have to run next, isn't he, guys? Can I confirm we will wait for him, won't we, to a certain extent, because we want we want to run them in reverse. Well, there we go.
Maybe this is his strategy.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We've just been told by our producer Luke, that it's 1:15 midnight in Japan. Now, you're not going to be delaying at that time of day, are you?
You're going to want to get on with it and get it over and done with.
All day he's been waiting. I don't like waiting, so I get terribly nervous before competition if it matters. And I don't like it right until the point where I'm doing it. And actually then I don't really enjoy the competition quite often. I enjoy the competition when it's finished. You know, when you look back at a rally and you're like, that was awesome.
I know what you mean, yeah. It's like
the anticipation, you just want to get going. Scrutineering, paperwork, hanging around, I hate it. And it's just like, I just want to get in the car and go. And then the second you leave the service area and you start, doing things like scrubbing off tyres and warming up brakes on the run to the first stage.
Stressed, aren't you?
Yeah, and then you get to the first stage and the lights are on and you're just full of adrenaline and the lights go out one by one and then you go. And the second you go, everything falls away. And it's one of my favourite things about competition is that anything that you were thinking about or worrying about or is on your mind is gone because you sole competition on that. And the waiting is awful. And Kazuho has had to wait the longest.
Yeah, 100%. Like
all day.
Once you get on the stage, nothing else in the world matters, and that's
brilliant,
the best feeling in the world.
Yeah, it is. It's great. If any other thoughts are creeping into your head, you have to check yourself because
100%. Yeah,
you can't be thinking. Occasionally, if I'm playing Dirt, I've got to be honest. I might get distracted by
the dog.
Yeah, the dog. My wife coming home from work. What I'm going to have at lunch. You just but then I think there are ways to immerse yourself more in the game. Definitely a wheel, definitely a seat setup, but also headphones, and that's something I need to up my game on at home because these guys are all doing it. Obviously, it completely puts you in the game and nowhere else.
Yeah.
We've got some highlights for you from Unipankanen's run. So take a look at this, and we'll talk you through them as we go. So this is Unipankanen on his.
Oh no!
Oh, look at that!
Oh no!
Whoa! Did you see that?
That was a ghost.
We got a poltergeist in it. So what? Dirt Rally 2.0, the deluxe edition, by the way, just threw itself off the Well, it did a Pankinen. Threw itself off the road has broken the rear wing of the Metro 654. Honestly, and that
no.
Is that yours?
No, it's one of the guys.
Oh, denied. I think it was broken.
We need some super glue.
Do we?
Yeah.
Let's look at the clip from Pankinen while we saw some super glue and also our Japanese driver. Here's Pankinen on that last one. So this is the half spin.
He just tapped the bank, which turned the car around on him.
He did well. That was the send into the hairpin, which for me was just lovely. Do you want that first one? Not enough. He was so unlucky there, and then Converse was so lucky because the point at which the bank goes steep there as well.
But the thing is, he's coming into a dead stop hairpin, so he's not losing the momentum. He should be already on the brakes there.
I don't think Pankinen has lost much time there. If I'm Iwata or Mateja, I'm knowing I'm going to have to light it.
You're going to have to go for it still.
They're going to have to lick the stamp and send it. It's going to have to be done, isn't it?
Yeah, get Sandy.
Get Sandy. With hashtags. Imagine all the hashtags and things that you could get from this show. Honestly, again.
Some of them you probably don't want. But
it's a shame. Anyway. Now we're done with all the modesty of how cool we are and what our brilliant skills are on GIFs, emojis, and all the other things which really matter in life. We're nearly ready for our friend Kazuho Iwata from Japan. midnight, maybe later now. We've been waiting a little bit longer. He's loading up and getting himself ready. Are we far away, guys? In the service area. So if this was real life, he'd be chucking a bit of pasta in as fast as he can. There'd be someone cleaning the number plates and the lights on the car, checking the fuel, wheel nuts, assuming you haven't done anything stupid and ripped a corner off the car. He's got a fresh car, and Kazuho Iwata at the bottom right of your screen. There he is with the gloves we mentioned earlier on. Iwata now for the World Championship title. World Series Dirt Rally 2.0. Pankinen, top right of your screen. I imagine Pankinen is watching the stream now because he'll want to see how Iwata gets on. I don't know that we're going to have any splits, are we, unfortunately, to see whether he's up or not, which I would have absolutely loved. But because they're running three separate times in the game, aren't they?
Yeah, so we don't even have a timer on the top left either to gauge where they are on the track and what time they've got. But I see Iwata is still sending it, carrying a lot of speed here, so he knows that he needs to keep up his performance.
Iwata is using, I would say, a very high rotation angle on the steering job in game. If you look at how small his input, okay, now he does a big input, but
it's still quite small. It's no more than 90 degrees.
So what do you reckon? Maybe 260? Was it 270?
Could be probably 300, I would say, or
really?
Or less.
Yeah.
We send it. Car lots of speed over this crest. A little bit of a cut. Car gets light.
Same cut as Pankinen through there. He maybe took a bit more on the left-hand side. Pankinen, look at the top of the screen, still got his gloves on. They were green gloves, matching the Impreza livery.
Through here, coming here.
Yeah, Pankinen took the fence down on the right-hand side. Does Iwata do the same? I reckon maybe not.
It doesn't look like he's carrying as much speed, but it might be deceptive and deceiving.
He's so tidy.
Yeah.
I thought that from earlier on today. He really is tidy. Pankinen now looks back across the other way. So Pankinen, I reckon, to put the stream up maybe on the screen in front of him. He's done now. He's the world champion twice, remember. He won in Dirt 4 when it was Rally and Rallycross. He won again last year. So
now Iwata's just past the place where Pankinen had his first incident.
Yeah.
And no mistakes for him.
Would you consider him to be up at the minute? I'd say
yes. I would say yes after not making the mistake.
Pankinen adjusting his camera into the right-hand side, past the traction branding which I broke the other day. First run through the stage. Through the long left.
Tricky corner that, it's off camber and it's quite long too, so you have to really get the car rotated.
And that's really the transition, isn't it, again, between two different types of road, from the open section back into the woods again. Wet conditions, it does make a difference, John. You know, I've tried the stages in both conditions, and it does make a big difference to the feeling of the car.
Definitely, you've got less traction going forward, you know, out of the exit of the corners and under braking too.
We've got the, coming through now, the section on the left. It's tidy through here. do you know what? It's so hard to judge because, as you say, Pankinen's driving style to me is more attacking. Pankinen is more of an prey, and Iwata is more of a Burns. If you wanted to compare the two UK drivers, Scottish McRae and English Burns.
Yeah, we have no idea how he's doing right now. It doesn't look as fast, but we know that he's got those 2 mistakes in hand. If he's a totally clean run, then he's got a good chance of beating Pankinen.
Absolutely mistake-free. He's as tidy as Pankinen through there. That's mint, isn't it? Yeah. So close. Now up to okay. Now we get to see, this is the section where John said last time about the big cuts. You've got a 3 left, and then you come down the hill, and there's a series. After this right-hander, there's a series of junctions here, corners here where you can take a cut. Oh, mistake. Not such a big cut as Pankinen, I think, and a little bit of speed scrubbed off, John, but not much.
No, he's still going enough speed, taking almost the same line as Pankinen.
Oh, go on, lad.
Pitching the car with the nose up through the jump.
Knocks the arrow down on the inside. Be a bit of tape training behind that car. That was always good when you're a spectator. You knew someone had been taking all the road and a little bit more. Down to the junction with the lights and the Jenny at it. As tidy through there or not?
I think it was just as good, yeah. I mean, it bogged down a little bit. He might have been better going a gear lower.
Look at Pankinen, the look on Pankinen's face. He
has no idea. He's the same as us. It's
so hard, isn't it? I'm looking to see his reaction afterwards, and I think that'll tell us a lot then about whether or not this tidy styles work. Iwata's inputs, and there are so many here down on the brakes. This is another tricky section. He's so late on the brakes, and yet it turns in perfectly. Now, down here, Pankinen took a big cut over the left-hand side of the road, jumped the gap. This next left-hander, he does the same. Okay, now this is where it was backed in beautifully by Pankinen. Later.
A lot straighter
on
the
his half spin almost, and has to turn back out of it. Not as quick through there for me as Pankinen.
Definitely, that's a couple of tenths lost there, but he's on the run down now into the bowl. Going to carry as much speed as he can, but try it. Oh, so close to the edge.
Is he going to be close to the edge at the bottom here? Because this is where Pankinen made the mistake. He's done the same. He rolls in the same place. End over end sideways. He rolls 4, 5, 6 times. Is he going to land back on his wheels? Iwata has to reset. 5 seconds gone, it's over. Kazuo Iwata has binned it at the bottom of the hill in
and
Sweet
he's got
Lamb.
2 punchers. Or at least 1 puncher as well.
Nightmare for the Japanese driver. What a shame, John. That was such a tidy run, but Iwata has made a mistake in the exact same place as Joona Pankkinen. Pankkinen knows. Fist pump from Pankkinen. He's trying to hold on to that world title. Fair enough. Iwata, unlucky, mate. Iwata up towards the finish line. Pankkinen, look, rubs his hands together, puts them behind his head. Kazuo Iwata finishes the stage. We've got a slight delay on his zoom as he comes across at the bottom. Not so much emotion from the Japanese driver, but he will be disappointed, and it is a 5:58.9. Going to make a note of that, 5:58.9. Where is he on my
he lost about 10 seconds with the roll, and then he got a 4-second penalty as well.
That's just...
I can't believe it, though. The exact same corner.
No, I know. And
but it's such a tricky spot because you're coming down the hill and you have to pick a braking point. When you pick the braking point, you're going into the right-hander, and then you got the water splash, which kicks the car up. And then after the water splash, if you're running wide, you've got to jump, which throws you out even further.
It's
a very tricky place.
It's really hard because the gate, you can't cut too much to the inside. Again, it's another one of those sections that, dare I say, I don't really enjoy because it's
one of those places where if you want to make up time, that's where you can do it.
Yeah.
Because normally, if you want to get through it there with no mistakes, you're going to take it back a little bit and make sure you get through without going wide. But the thing that makes that so tricky is the fact you're coming downhill, you're going through a set of gates, you've got a water splash, then a jump.
The trouble with the water splash is if you don't have enough lock on, the water splash will do, and this is the same in real life, which is why the game's so good. Basically, a sump guard under the car protects the bottom of your engine, but it then... If you want to think of it like a boat, effectively it's a plane which leads to the floor of the car. So we're going to look at a replay. So have a look at this while we talk you through it. But John, you know what I mean? If you're going too fast, effectively your sump guard will surf you off to the outside.
It was a massive shunt as well, wasn't it?
1, 2,
you can hear the air going out of the tyre.
5, 5.5. So he's had to hit reset there. Yeah, in fact, he did go end over end and then rolled.
That's a proper crash.
Go on, lad.
And we've seen drivers roll there in real life too. I think
Yeah.
it was Mikko Hirvonen rolled there in real life.
He?
Yeah.
Which car?
Focus.
See, John knows stuff about rallying.
So it is
a
dangerous spot in real life.
Yeah, it is. But it's a great stage, Sweet Lamb. It is a great stage. Have you driven through it? It's not one I've had the pleasure of doing, I don't think, Sweet Lamb. Maybe a bit
I never done it in competition, but I done a thing called the Pirelli Star Driver Shootout.
Was that there?
Yeah, and it was held at Sweet Lamb, so I have been there, but I don't really know it that well.
Yeah.
So what do we think? Is Matejka going to take it?
So what I want to look at is the roll. How much was the? Did you say it was 4-second penalty for?
Yeah. So you take that out of it, he would have done a 54, which is still 10 slower than.
Yeah, but I'm just wondering, is the roll? But was there another? No, the 4 would have been the penalty for the reset, wouldn't it? So it's not a penalty for reset plus the 4. The 4 is the reset penalty, but the roll itself. You're going at you're still heading towards the apex. I don't know. I wonder if he was fast enough anyway. But he looked it to me. I don't know. And then you said there was a puncture, didn't you? Anyway,
we're never going to know, and it would be lovely if we could have a split system.
We might have to go back through that and digest the splits.
We could set them up side by side, and then we would know.
Yes, we might do that. Yeah. Would that might be a video. Right. Lucas Matejka, at the bottom right-hand side of your screen, is now the only driver who can deny Joona Pankkonen, the reigning World Series champion in Dirt Rally 2.0, a third world title with Codemasters and their Dirt Game series. He won Dirt 4, Pankkonen did. A mixture of rally and rallycross. Last year at the Autosport Show, he won Dirt Rally 2.0 World Series. And Lucas Matejka now at the bottom of your screen is the only man who can deny him a third World Championship title, a second World Series. Look at Pankkonen, he's all fired up, he's all smiles at the top of the screen. Matejka's got to be nervous because in some ways, if Iwata had gone quicker, I think Matejka would be thinking, okay, I can do this, but to have seen Pankkonen's run, the risks he took, and the fact that he got away with it, that's a champion's roll, we call that, where you have a small roll back onto your wheels with no damage. That's a champion's roll. And plenty of top drivers have had it. And it's kind of frustrating, isn't it, for Matejka? He'd love it if he could have... Imagine now if Matejka had seen Pankkonen and Iwata had had a roll and not recovered from it, he'd be laughing, but he's not.
He's still got a lot of pressure on his shoulders because he needs to go fast enough to beat Pankkonen, and obviously he didn't lose that much time, like you said, Andrew. So he won't be able to measure this. I think he's just going to go as fast as he can and try not to make the mistakes. And if he does that, he knows he's got it in the bag.
You mentioned earlier that they would probably have practiced the multi-saves the most to make sure that they were on the money when they left the first stage, and particularly because, of course, that is mixed surface. Everything else is one surface. It's either snow or tar or gravel. But how much have you practiced this stage? Because at the end of the day, it's actually the only one that matters once you're in there. I think similar line to Pankkonen. Sorry, this was where Pankkonen's first mistake was, wasn't it, John? Yeah, go on. How much did you practice this?
I think this one would have been really one of the stages that they practiced the most as well, because like you said, this is the one that matters and the one that will make them champion or not. But yeah, he's got through that section where Pankkonen made his first mistake, no problem. So see if he can keep it up now through the rest of the stage. Beautiful
through the traction hairpin. He's late on the throttle, but he's early on the apex and carrying the speed through. There's that off-camber left, which he's perfect on again. Now it's a 90 right, in through a gate. Do not touch the gate. Big cut on the inside, bigger than Pankkonen.
Yeah, it was really, really good, but so far it's been a super clean run, no mistakes, but this is such a tricky track to go flat out on. There's so much things to catch you out.
Here's one for you. Lucas Matejka is in the final for the World Rallycross Championship later on today. If Matejka takes this, he could be double world champion, double World Series champion. He could unify the belts, as it were, and bring together both the Rallycross and the Rally titles in Dirt Rally 2.0. I mean, that's like undisputed champion of the world business, isn't it?
That would be absolutely amazing if you could.
It would, wouldn't it?
That would be such a good thing.
It would be mint. Come on, Lucas, but come on, Joona as well. We can't have favourites. Joona for me, you know, he's the benchmark. He absolutely is the benchmark.
He's the Loeb or the OJ of,
he is, isn't he?
Sport.
We've called him McRae already. I bet Joona's loving us. We've called him McRae, OJ. I mean, but Matasia is trying to take that away. Matasia is trying to do a Tommy Mäkinen. He's trying to take it away from McRae on the last stage. And if you were McRae, Mäkinen was one of those guys that you had to fear, because he was another guy who could go 11 out of 10 and pull it off.
Yeah, 100%. It's all about making as little mistakes as possible, but going flat out at the same time.
Matasia's quick through there, John. See the weight transfer on the way into 90
right. That's a lot of speed carried through there.
Really good. Mäkinen not looking quite so chill at the minute. Matasia will know where the mistake was for both those drivers, but then you back it off too much and end up losing. Oh, wow. Tension is building now. Yuna knows it. Top right of your screen, just chilling in his chair. Oh, my goodness me. The world champion, the reigning world champion, the current leader of Season 2 of the World Series is waiting for Matasia, who was so close to him in the qualifying stages. Matasia and Mäkinen both came from PC, remember. They were in the same semi-final together. It was super close between them. Here's that downhill section into the braking zone. Here we go, John. Analyse this for us.
So he's going to take off in the air, braking, use a little bit of grass on the left to open up the entry into the corner. And then it's a long, fast, medium corner. And then we're coming down now into this bit where you can make a little bit of a cut over the left here.
Oh, hangs a wheel down the ditch on the right-hand side. Matasia is leaving it all on the line here. He backs it in Mäkinen McRae style. He is giving it to Tommy Mäkinen. Mäkinen knows now it's maybe going to come down to this last run down the hill into the famous bowling Sweet Lamb. This is where the fireworks are up in the sky if you're a World Rally Championship driver as you come down through the all-important water splash. Can he hold on? Matasia through the splash.
Oh,
no! The bank! Same mistake. Back down onto the road. He doesn't roll. Matasia gets away with it. Into the hairpin now. He's chasing the time of Mäkinen. The time is 5:44.547. Lucas Matasia has made a mistake, but he got away with it. Mäkinen had 2 get-out-of-jail-free cards. Matasia's had 1. Up now over the crest into the water splash. Critically gets the gate right on the exit now. This for the World Series champion title. Mäkinen shakes his head. Has Matasia done enough? There's the time on the right-hand side. 5:44.5. Who gets it? Oh, it's Matasia! Lucas Matasia is the World Series champion. Dirt Rally 2.0 takes it by just under 2 seconds. Mäkinen is defeated thanks to roll. Matasia, he rolls his eyes. It's relief. It's a big grin. Head in his hands. What a drive, and he could still win the World Rallycross Championship title later on today. Lucas Matasia, what a drive. What a drive.
I'm speechless. I can't believe all 3 drivers made this mistake in the same place. Even
That's unreal.
After seeing each other.
2 seconds, like he must have done the work elsewhere. Obviously, we know he didn't have the half spin. So he'd maybe, you can hear the crowd in the background in game. I can. Wow. Lucas Matasia,
I think it would have been very
champion.
close if UNP didn't have his 2 mistakes.
They all made that mistake. I don't know that there was much difference in UNP's role and Matasia's up the bank. Maybe a tiny bit. Probably
a little bit extra penalty for UNP whenever he had the roll as well. But I can't
tell
believe
you what, it delivers, doesn't it?
That's just like you couldn't write that stuff that they both. Like all 3 of them made a mistake in the water splash.
Right, next time, this is what we're going to work on for next time. We want splits through the stage, don't we?
Yeah,
because you want to see that ebb and flow, because you could see Yuna was like us. He knew it was a good run. And Matasia, for me, somehow was midpoint between Mäkinen and Iwata in terms of style. You know, Iwata for me was a clinician.
Yeah, super smooth.
Yeah, Yuna like it's full send, and Yuna yes for the full send. That medal, you know, I'll send you an emoji of a medal later. Trophies for these 3 guys up behind John here. Left-hand side is the World Series Champion Trophy, which is going to be heading the way of Lucas Matasia. Could we be putting 2 trophies in one box? He's in the World Rallycross Championship Esports Finals later on today. So he's had all that pressure and build up to this. He's won a World Championship. I'm practically shaking thinking about it. He's got to do it all again this afternoon. So do tune in at 5 p.m. Can Lucas Matasia unify the titles and become the undisputed champion of the world in Dirt Rally 2.0? That would be mega, wouldn't it?
It would be such a nice story, wouldn't it? But he's got a lot of really good drivers to race in the Rallycross as well. So the Dynamo brothers.
Oh, it will be great. So join us for that. The middle trophy is going to head the way of Una Pankin and the world champion who has missed out this time. Una, thank you so much for being a part of this again, because having the reigning champion in there it will mean all the more. And I hope Una will understand what I mean by this. It will mean all the more to Lucas to have won it from Una in a straight fight, and that's great. It's a brilliant bit of sport, and that's what we're here for. And the P3 trophy heading all the way out to Asia, out to Japan for Kazuho Iwata. Kazuho, thank you for staying up so late every time for the competition here in Europe. Wicked. I'm feeling really emotional about it all. It's just great. You can't beat a final. Can't beat a final.
That was amazing.
I think have we got an interview ready? We ready? Okay, Lucas, can you unmute your microphone, please, on Zoom? In the classic COVID-19 style, we need to unmute the microphone on Zoom so that we can hear Lucas Matasia. Lucas, can you hear us? Can he hear us? We can't hear him. Lucas Matasia, can you hear us? Oh, no, we want to talk to the world champion. He's chatting to someone, but we can't. Can you guys hear him in the gallery? Okay, not at the minute. We're working on whether or not someone's texting Lucas how to unmute on Zoom. It's a big problem this year. You know, it's
just part and parcel.
Like 2020 through 2021. You know, like you've got to unmute yourself. I did it the other day. You got to switch the camera. You have to even be let into a Zoom meeting now. It's all got terribly official, hasn't it? Your best bet is just FaceTime, to be honest. It's just so much easier. You know, if FaceTime comes up, you can ignore it or not. It's easy to answer. You can be anywhere. It's just great, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, depending on where you are.
Yeah.
Nobody wants a FaceTime in the shower.
Definitely not. No.
Like, try not to, you know. Okay, have you ever answered the FaceTime to your ear? Like, you answer
and someone's just looking at your ear there.
Yeah, my mum's done that. Cheers, Mum. Good mention from Mum. So we're going to see, are we going to be able to speak to Lucas, do you think? Okay, well, look, if we can't speak to him, we can speak to him later on. So maybe we'll speak to Lucas Matasia. If we don't speak to him in a minute, we could speak to him ahead of the Rallycross finals, because he's going to be in that. So perhaps that's our best bet. As we'll see if we can line him up for the final later on today in Rallycross. Wow! Dirt Rally 2.0 delivering all the way, John. It's been an amazing series, hasn't it? Season 2. So I've been lucky enough as well to do season 1, but also Dirt 4. I love it. It is a great game. It really, I know, it's easy for us to say that being involved with it, but I've always played the rally titles all my life. I love it, and it just delivered again today just amazing.
100%. It's so good to see the best players on this realistic game. You know, going.
Can you believe how close it was?
Head to head, and there's only tenths between them, but then going into that last stage and just seeing them crack under the pressure and all making the same mistake. It is amazing, and I
would never feel bad about making that mistake again. The 3 best drivers in the world.
That's the champions' corner.
It is. Yeah, it's like the last corner in Canada F1 circuit. Yeah. That's the champions wall, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're not a champion till you
tap
the wall
water
there.
splash.
Yeah, Champions Water Splash. That's just been renamed. In fact, that can be some sort of an achievement, I imagine. If there's ever a future game, we want some sort of an achievement on the Sweetland Water Splash. Right, we're going to try one more time with Lucas. Let's see if we can have a chat with Lucas now. Here we go. Where is he? Lucas Matasia, can you hear me? Oh, we're still missing audio. Lucas, we still can't hear you, unfortunately, at this end. Look, Lucas, I know we'll be able to hear us. We're going to work on getting that fixed for later on today, and we'll see if we can have a chat with him. But Lucas, just from our point of view, massive congratulations from myself, John, Thrustmaster Traction, Dirt Rally 2.0, everybody involved in this, and I know from everybody watching at home, Lucas Matasia, the World Series champion for Dirt Rally 2.0, and he's got a chance of making it a double later on this afternoon. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks to the guys over in the gallery. Best wishes to Tom again from our team who's suffering at home at the minute. I hope you get well soon, mate. John, well done. Been a pleasure on the rally side. We've just got Rallycross to come later on today. So 5 p.m. UK time, you'll be able to join us for the finals of Dirt Rally 2.0 on the FA World Rallycross Championship. We'll leave you some highlights, and we will see you then after you take a look at the traction competition as well. Here you go. So Traction, you can win a PS5, an Xbox Series X and a gaming PC. All three of those go to you, and that will mean you have absolutely no excuse for not being one of the best drivers in the world, should we ever manage to run another one of these series. At Traction GG on all the social medias, and search for Traction GG on YouTube as well. You can see some content of me playing even worse than a World Champions. I think I crashed at the Champions Water Splash when I had a go at that as well. So enter that competition on Traction's social medias. Have a look at some highlights, and we'll see you at 5 p.m. later for World RX.